Hello, everybody. Your old Uncle Andy here, the UC Panda himself, coming to you hopefully with some winning sports picks on October 23rd, 2024. We have done a little research. We're a little bit ahead of the game this week. We've got all of our football in. Didn't see a whole great deal in college that I liked. Did like a little bit in the NFL. So we do have everything together for you, and we're going to get it to you early. Several of the plays involve Jacksonville State. They're playing tonight on Wednesday. So, don't be stressed out if you can't get these plays in with Jacksonville State. I just have the money line. It's really not reducing the juice all that much, just a few cents. So if you can't get these bets in, these bets as they are without Jacksonville State should be just fine. So we'll go over what we did last night. We had a decent night in the NHL. The picks themselves went about 5-2. We hit a lot of the positive money plays. Several of them were connected to Jacksonville State, so we're just going to wait till tomorrow to add all that up, hoping that Jacksonville State simply wins the game as a 21-point favorite. I'm confident they will against a bad Middle Tennessee outfit, so I think it should be fine. Go ahead and keep following us on Twitter. We'll keep posting all the plays there. I'm happy to report the ladder challenge is still alive and well going into day 5. So now it's starting to get real. I didn't see anything today I liked, so I'm not going to bet it. We got 9 NHL games tomorrow night, so I'm sure there will be something in there that I like that we will probably bet, and we'll sweat it out. As promised, I did get up at about 3 in the morning and go into the bathroom and check my phone to see if the ladder challenge had survived the night, which it did, quite easily, I might add. So I hope they're all that easy for the next, 5-6 days. So we are going to have a juice reducer parlay with Jacksonville State, as I mentioned, and the Ohio State Buckeyes as a 25.5-point favorite at home against Nebraska. This is gambling. I'm going to go with Ohio State and Jacksonville State as over 20-point favorites. And if one of them lose, all these bets lose. That's the way it is. So we're just going to roll with it. We did take Ohio University, teased them down a couple, down to 5 points. That's paying even money. I do like Navy plus the 14. That's going to be paying even money. I really do like Ball State. Listen to this. Ball State this year is 4-3 against the spread. They're 2-1 in conference games against the spread. Going back to the start of the 2022 season, Ball State is 13-6 in conference play against the number, 9-5 at home ATS since that time, and 13-10 as an underdog. So I will go ahead and take that. I like it. NIU, on the other hand, I think they're in a tough spot. They're in a letdown spot. They're just coming off that big game loss last week. They've got a bye week coming up. They're looking towards the bye week. Since 2022, they are 6-8-12 against the spread coming off a loss, and they are only 7-12 against the spread in conference play since the start of 2022. So all the numbers are pointing towards Ball State here in the points. So I'm not saying Ball State's going to win. I don't think they will win. I do think they will keep this close, though, keep it within the number based on all the factors that I just mentioned. So we're going to look at another MAC game. Kent State and Western Michigan. I do like them to go over 58 points. As far as the over is concerned, Kent State this year is 4-3 on the over. Western Michigan is 5-2 to the over. So these are both over teams. Kent State is 2-1 in conference play to the over, 4-2 as an underdog in conference to the over as an underdog. Since the start of last year, altogether, Kent State is 12-7 to the over, and they're 7-4 to the over in conference play. So let's go with it. Western Michigan, they, since the start of last year, are also 12-7 to the over in conference, or 12-7 in general to the over. They are 8-3 to the over in conference play, and they are 5-2 to the over at home. So everything here pointing towards an over in this game, and we'll go for it. I do like Illinois in the points going out to Oregon. I don't think Illinois is going to win the game by any stretch of the imagination, but Illinois so far this year is 5-1 against the spread. They've really been covering very well. The only loss they have is at Penn State in a very close game that they could have, should have, would have won. And Oregon, meanwhile, is 3-4 against the spread. So I'll go ahead and take the Illini. I think it should pay off. I think the Illini keep it close. UConn will take them minus 5.5 at even money paired with Jacksonville and Ohio State. UConn at home. I know the quarterback got hurt and the backup's in. I think the backup has acquitted himself well. They're laying less than a touchdown with this prop, and they're playing a woeful Rice team coming off of a tough loss last week against Tulane, a team that I had in several of my plays. That was a sweat. So you got to think Rice is coming in sort of dragging, and UConn should go ahead and prevail. I do like Vanderbilt in the 21 against Texas. Texas, heartbreaking loss last week, almost certainly out of the college playoff conversation unless something just really miraculous were to happen. So I went ahead and added the Detroit Lions to this prop along with Jacksonville State and Ohio State, and it's paying a plus 126. Same thing for Louisiana Monroe. I went ahead and took the Lions, Jacksonville, and Ohio State, teased them up to plus 13. I do like ULM here. ULM is 5-1 against the spread this year against South Alabama. South Alabama, the Jaguars only 3-4 against the spread. So, South Alabama was only laying 7.5. So I went ahead and teased it up for Louisiana Monroe, and I think they'll go ahead and keep this game close. I do have a juice reducer parlay for my NFL picks this week. A little bit different than the college picks. I went ahead and took the Lions, which I don't normally like taking an NFL team, putting them in the juice reducer parlay. That bit me earlier in the year. I think week 2 and the Ravens lost to the Raiders, I believe it was, really kind of messed us up pretty good. But we're going to go ahead and take the Lions at home against a bad Titans outfit. And I've also got Ohio State to win the first half and win the whole game. Put those together, and I think it was like a minus 330 or something. So it's actually a decent juice reducer parlay for just having 2 legs. We went ahead and paired that with the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're playing good ball. I think you would be okay for the Vikings. Just go ahead and lay the 3 points by itself if you wanted, but I just would prefer to sort of take them money line here. But the Vikings are 5-1 against the spread this year, and they are taking on a Rams outfit that is 1-5 against the number this year. So I think you're fine tomorrow night to go ahead and just take the Vikings as is, but I'm going to pair it with a couple of things and try to get some of that plus money. The Colts, I went ahead and teased them up to plus 7.5. They are heading down to Houston. The Colts are 6-1 against the spread this year. Houston only 3-3 against the spread. Indy has covered 2 of the last 3 of these matchups, so I will go ahead and take the Colts and the points in this parlay at a plus money price. The Cardinals, I really like. I think you're fine taking the Cardinals plus the 3.5 by itself too down there in Miami, but we'll go ahead and take the Cards, juice it up a little, take them plus 7. Arizona is 4-3 against the spread this year. They're facing a Miami team that is 1-5 against the spread. So I do like the Cardinals here. Same thing, Cardinals Dolphins. I like the under 50 points. Dolphins are 1-5 to the over this year, and Arizona only 3-3. But I do think it's going to be sort of a defensive struggle. I don't expect much out of the Dolphins. Don't expect much out of the Cardinals. The Cardinals on average only scoring 20 points this year. Miami only averaging on their defense, giving up 20 points. The Dolphins only scoring 14 points a game on average. So I think this thing stays under. I do like the Buccaneers. They're 4-3 against the spread this year. They're also 5-2 to the over. I think the over will also come in this game. The Buccaneers and Falcons can both put up some points, and 3 of their last 4 matchups have gone over the number. So I think you're pretty good there. Take the over, and I also like the Bucks. In the Broncos game, they're laying like 10 points. That's a little rich for my blood. But what I did is paired the Broncos with the parlay up above, and I've got them winning the first half and winning the game, and that's simply a minus 109. So I think that's the play. I don't want to lay all those points, so I think that's a good solid play. I know it's a little over into the juice at 9 cents, but I like it, the minus 109. Same thing, Steelers on Monday night. I think you're okay to lay the touchdown with the Steelers. I think you'd be fine doing that, but I did just go ahead and take them on the money line. And with the juice reducer parlay, it gets us down to minus 130. I think that's a good price against a Giants team that just really hasn't done anything this year. We have a couple of individual plays Friday night. I do like UNLV in a same game parlay. I like them getting the 7.5 points, and I do like the game to go over 57. Boise this year, they're only 3-3 against the number. They're 5-1 to the over, however, so I do like that. UNLV, they are 5-2 against the spread, and they are 2-1 at home against the number, and 2-0 this year as an underdog against the spread, and they are 4-3 to the over. And last year, this game did go over, so I'll go ahead and take the over. Same game parlay for an even money price. I think that's pretty good. And then I didn't cash in early. I shouldn't say that. I jinxed myself, but I got in early on a NHL bet for tomorrow night. Boosted MGM boosted at 33%, and it is paying plus 146. I didn't put that on here, but it is playing plus 146 for the Rangers to score first. And the Rangers 5-1 this year as far as scoring first is concerned, and the Panthers slow starters. They are only scoring first 2 out of the 7 games they've played. So it's at MSG. I think the Rangers the Rangers have been playing some good hockey. I think they're going to come out, put their foot on the gas, and put one in early. I think first period and over in this may also be a play for me tomorrow night. We do have these other plays, as we mentioned. These were all posted yesterday. Cavaliers and Suns tonight in a no sweat token, plus 120. We definitely got the better end of this line. It's just gotten juicier and juicier since we made this bet. So even if the bet were to lose, it's still a good bet because we got some good closing line value. I do like Jacksonville State tonight laying the points. And I also like Georgia Southern and Old Dominion, also with Jacksonville State to win. And I like that to stay under 54 points. And if you maybe pick a side in that game, I also like Georgia Southern just to win the game outright. But I don't think we've got enough bets in. So if you need another bet, that would be the bet I would take, Georgia Southern to win the ball game. Go easy in NBA tonight. There are many more NBA games tonight than there were last night. Just go easy in it. You don't know how these teams are. You're going to be able to bet NBA from now till almost July 4th. So there's plenty of time to bet NBA. Like I did with the hockey, sit back. Let's string together some data points before we rush into this. Same thing with college basketball starting, I think, in 2 weeks from tonight, maybe. Definitely college basketball. Take it slow. This transfer portal, and there's 350 Division I teams. Unless you're a fan of that team, you have no idea of who's on what team, what the roster looks like, how they're going to gel. So let's just take it easy. We got a long way to go. So I hope everybody enjoys whatever sport they're going to be partaking of this evening. And let's get through hump night here together. And we're just 2 days closer to the weekend. And if you tail us to the window, we will cash tickets together. Have a good night.